Time to look ahead to racing on the last day of the month. Racing is on Sunday the 30th of November. Guaranteed come Monday the 1st of December, the countdown will begin, you'll start hearing Christmas carols, and festivities will start kicking into gear ahead of the Christmas rush and the festive season. But for us, better to concentrate on the GGs on Sunday. We are back at Hollywoodbets Greyville. It's the third meeting in 6 days and the second in the last two that we are racing on the ever-reliable Poly track. Thanks for joining me, Rouavun Smit. You're on a sure thing. Good to have you along for a preview of this 8-race program that gets underway at 12:40. Initially, we were supposed to race on the turf, but Racecourse took the decision to move this meeting to the Poly track because of all the rain that's been about this past week in the province. I do like this card because I do think there are a number of horses that are fancy that can win on the day, and there's all the more reason to think somebody could win the Hollywoodbet Punter Challenge. Make sure you have your entries on 5 minutes prior to the off of the opener. Put through your selections and play the bet slip, because that puts you in line for that R1 million jackpot prize that is on offer. Buy pot starts from race 1, 12:40 the off. Let's get straight to it. Race 1 is a maiden plate where 9 runners will line up at the 1,000 metre mark. Took down the antipose market. It's 2.5 to 1 each of 2. 1 Grand Force 2.5 to 1. 5 Kamoji 2.5 to 1. 3.33 to 1 about number 8 Barrington Blue. Money for number 6 Soli Sombra from 6.25 into 5.56 to 1. And it's 7.14 to 1 and upwards the others. Where am I going? I'm going with a horse that's had quite a few runs under the belt. I'm talking about 1 Grand Force from the stable of Garth Puller. This horse has finished in the money in his last 4 starts. In fact, last time out, over-raced, pulled, hung, but stayed on nicely to finish third, beaten only 2.2 lengths by the winner. Comes back in trip to 1,000 metres, and I do think better suited to the minimum trip. If you look at the course and distance form, you'll see for 2 runs, finished third on both those occasions. I do like the look of Grand Force, and I do think Prentice Mbutu will have the run of the race from pole position, because this horse will jump and go, and if he kicks away, he may be hard to pick back in the run to the wire. So I'm going 1 Grand Force, ahead of number 6 Soli Sombra, 5 Kamoji, 8 Barrington Blue as my selections. Second race on the program is a conditions plate. A small yet quality field of 6 runners line up at the 1,000 metre mark. 2 Lahamba Pambiles at 1.25 to 1. 6 Vian's Web 2.5 to 1. 3.57 number 1 King of the Gauls. 6.67 to 1 and upwards the others. Looking no further than number 2 Lahamba Pambile. This horse returns from a 10-week break. Definitely would have enjoyed the time off and certainly would have strengthened up. Has got solid recent form if one looks at that last run. Finished third, was in touch and was staying on at the business end of affairs. The horse that finished ahead of him in second place was a horse called Heresy, who has subsequently come out and franked that form line. I do think that he will definitely be on the heels of the early speed. From barrier position 2, gets the services of Hollywood retained jockey Sean Veal. And, in a race of this nature, I like looking at the horse who is highest rated, best rated, and Lahamba Pambile fits that bill, and I do think will take a power of beating. So I'm going 2 Lahamba Pambile, ahead of 1 King of the Gauls, 6 Vian's Web, and number 5 Master Josh for 4th. Third race is the opening leg of the Pick 6. You need to be on by 13:45. It's a maiden plate for fillies. 10 runners will line up at the 1,200, and I'm looking no further than the favourite, number 5 Water Passion. This horse opened up 1.52 on hollywoodbets.net. Money has come pouring in and is now in the red at 0.9 to 1, and I do think will probably start shorter come race time. Water Passion is 0.9 to 1 currently on hollywoodbets.net. Last time out, showed pace, stayed on and finished second. Got beaten by a horse called Showgirl, who has subsequently come out and won again next time, and the horse that finished behind her in third was a horse called Amelia's Legacy, who has subsequently come out and franked that form line. I do think that there's still improvement to come from this filly. Samanga Kamala retains the ride for Gareth Van Sale, and the only comment I wrote here, if taking to the Poly track, could shed her maiden tag. So I'm going 5, Water Passion, ahead of number 10, Alakazam, 8, Warrior Rose, 4, Priory Terrace. Let's move on to race 4. Leg 1, Jackpot 1, off time 14:20, Open Maiden for fillies, scratched here. Number 4, AMC Sullivan, field reduced down to 9 runners. It looks like a race in 2 as far as the betting is concerned. You can get 1.43 to 1 about number 10, Strutting, 1.82 to 1 about number 3, Roy's Blossom, and 5.56 to 1 on Hollywoodbets.net. I'm in the camp of number 10, Strutting. This one has got Sianda Sisobo retaining the ride. Last time out, should have finished a whole lot closer on debut. Was awkwardly placed at the 450, and the jockey also dropped the stick in running. The form line of that race is held up. 2 horses have come out of that form line and won. The 3rd place horse, Touched by Angels, and the 4th place horse, the Marquis, have both won their next starts. He definitely would have come on with the benefit of that one under the belt. Any amount of improvement can be expected. He's from a top stable who definitely would have her close to peak fitness, and I do think that she'll have a big say in the outcome of this race. So I'm going 10, Strutting, ahead of number 1, Lakatichi, 3, Roy's Blossom, 8, Tiki Box. Race 5 is leg 1 of Jackpot 2, off time 1500 hours. This is a Class 4 fillies and mares benchmark 82, where 8 runners will line up at the 1,000 metre mark. 2.5 to 1, number 3, Call Me Jane, 3.57 to 1, number 6, Dark Matter, and number 2, Moscow Miss. 4 to 1, number 2, Vision to Achieve, number 5, Vision to Achieve, and you can get 6.25 to 1 and upwards the others. I'm siding here with number 2, Moscow Miss, from the stable of Yoga's Governor. Look at that last run, 5th, 1.45 lengths behind Captain's Christie. Now go to number 5, Vision to Achieve. You'll see 4th, 1.05 lengths behind Captain Christie. Now Moscow Miss is 2 kilos better off for a 0.45 length beating. That to me is enough to turn the tables. If one looks at a course and distance record, you'll see that she won her maiden over this course and distance. She's likely to race on the heels of the early speed. She's well drawn in barrier position too, and I do think she's the horse that could say, come and catch me if you can in the run to the wire. So I'm going 2, Moscow Miss, ahead of 5, Vision to Achieve, 3, Call Me Jane, and 6, Dark Matter. 6th race we move on to. This is a Class 5 fillies and mares benchmark 70. 12 runners will line up at the 1100 metre mark. And here it is a wide open affair. I do think you need to load up in this leg of the exotics. Number 9, Amen Corners at 4 to 1. 4, Dawn Surprise at 4.55. You can get 4.55 about number 3, Mystic Dancer. 7.14, number 6, Nile the Boss. 8.33 to 1 and upwards the others. I'm siding here with number 4, Dawn Surprise. Winner of her last 2 starts. She won her last start very, very comfortably. She hit the front 400 metres from home, and then it was a case of how far. I do think she could have finished further than she did, because the winning margin does suggest that she could have won better than 1.9 lengths. Over this distance, she has finished 3rd on her only attempt. She comes back in trip to 1100 metres. I do think that with Cole Dickens retaining the ride, she can bring up the hat-trick. So I'm going 4, Dawn Surprise, ahead of 3, Mystic Dancer, 1, Jane's Vision, 9, Amen Corner. Penultimate race on the card is race number 7. And this is another race where you can make a case for quite a few of them. Number 6, Bank Street, is at 3.57, along with number 4, Professor Lupin, 3.57. 8, Pleased to Meet You, 4.55. 6.25, number 11, Shimmering. 7.14 to 1 and upwards the others. Where am I going? I'm siding with number 6, Bank Street. This one from the stable of Stuart Ferry. Took on much stronger last time out when finishing 6th. Beaten 3.3 lengths by the winner. Put a line through that run and you'll see prior to that has got solid form lines. Drops in class here. Will definitely be kicking on strongly in the closing stages, and I do think, if not too far out of her ground, turning for home, she is the one they all have to beat, because she will certainly be cutting back the deficit with each and every stride. So I'm going 6 Bank Street, ahead of 4 Professor Lupin, 8 Pleased to Meet You, 2 Purple Powerhouse. 8th race, jump 1645, if all goes according to plan. Not an easy end to the day. A couple of them you need to include. 5 Navajo Dancers at 2 to 1. You can then get 6.25 to 1 about number 10, Master Silvano, 7.14 number 6, Willow Gem, and 8.33 to 1 and upwards the others I must run in the betting. 7 Counterattack is at 3.03 to 1. I'm going to side with the favourite, number 5 Navajo Dancer. Has got decent recent form to his credit. He was second over 1,000 metres, and he was in touch with them last time out when beaten 1.3 lengths by the winner. Now steps up to 1,200, and over this distance has run 5 times and finished 3rd on 2 occasions. This horse does take on a whole lot stronger in this race. He does, however, carry a nice galloping weight of just 52.5 kilos on his back. Nicholas Patel retains the ride, and I do think he will certainly be right there in the closing stages. I'm going 5 Navajo Dancer, ahead of 7 Counterattack, 6 Willow Gem, 9 Winter Waves. And that takes care of racing on Sunday afternoon, the last race meeting in the month of November. Trust you'll have an enjoyable and profitable weekend's racing. Till next time, from me, Rouavun. Cheers for now.